All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Wrestling Summit. You should know who we are, but if you do not, I am Brian H. Waters, and I am joined by the enforcer, the Godfather himself, the one and only Glenn. What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm just happy to be back on the summit. We're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Excited. Hope people are having a great Palm Sunday. Hope your bracket's not busted. Uh, what I'm saying? Your bracket is busted. That's why you should be a wrestling fan. There's no brackets in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to worry about that. So it's wrestling season, baby. Forget March Madness. Only madness in March is leading up to WrestleMania.
And ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, we are being broadcasted right here, right to you, presented on Fox Sports 1340, which if you look behind my brother Glenn, you can find where to tweet us. And, you can find us, that's my Twitter handle right there. Um, but that's where you can find the Wrestle Summit. I'm gonna stay right here on this subject. We got Shane McMahon and the Undertaker. Raw ended there. Glenn, you just watched Raw. Um, tell me what you think the way Raw ended.
I like the way Raw ended. You got to keep the Undertaker as he is. He doesn't
Mhm.
work for anybody. He is the Undertaker. He does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Shane McMahon calling him Vince McMahon's B female dog, as you will, keeping it PG here. And he said he's not that. So he choke slams Shane McMahon and looks at Vince McMahon like you're next. I'm interested for this match. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people say, "What? We're gonna have a lot of fluff. Shane shows that he's quick and he can move, but can he do all that in the cage? It's going to be a physical match. And we're going to see, I think a lot of parties are going to get involved. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody come up from underneath the ring. I don't know. But just to see how it goes, I'm just going to be there enjoying it as a fan. But it's good to see WWE using the Undertaker in a different way. And I think a lot of us talk about the Undertaker. The Undertaker is mystique. WrestleMania sells tickets itself. We'd like to see the Undertaker at WrestleMania. But then, like I said, I mentioned, I think on Wrestling Marks of Excellence or might have been the Summit, there's nobody else on the roster that can do what the Undertaker to deal with the Undertaker right now. But Shane McMahon, look at the pop that Shane McMahon gets every time he comes out. And if you see,
Mhm.
look at the fanfare that Shane McMahon gets. You look at the set last year. I was listening to somebody else's podcast, and matter of fact, I call it out. But listen to Stone Cold's podcast. He couldn't even remember who the Undertaker wrestled last year. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You want to be able to have memorable matches for the Undertaker. And Shane McMahon, people will remember Shane McMahon and the Undertaker. People have forgotten that the Undertaker wrestled Bray Wyatt last year at WrestleMania 31. Why? Because that match wasn't memorable. Everybody talks about WrestleMania 30. No one has talked about WrestleMania 31, Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, because that match was not that interesting.
You know what, Glenn? I think it was more that the match wasn't interesting, but I do think the build up last year was great. But I personally don't think you. I don't know. For me, it's hard to say any opponent of the Undertaker, unless it was Brock Lesnar again, would have followed up. And I'll say like take Austin and Rock. People remember Austin Rock too, but do you remember who Stone Cold really wrestled afterwards? The year after that, in between Austin Rock 3. You know, um, we know Scott Hall because we're wrestling fans, we're diehard wrestling fans, but people don't remember a lot of times those epic matches when they happen. That one that follows that, people might not remember. You know, but you're right. That match last year wasn't that interested, and I think mainly because the ankle of Bray Wyatt. We waited for Taker to come. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he showed up like the last couple of weeks on Raw. The build-up was more about Bray Wyatt showing us that he had that range that he could try to get into the Undertaker's head and not be intimidated by him at the same time. But the actual match wasn't memorable. However, this match, the thing I like about it, like you said, you keep the Undertaker how he is. And I was happy that Shane McMahon went there with the Undertaker saying stuff like, "Hey, are you Vince's BI?" Because that's what you do. If you know this person is really not somebody, if you know that person doesn't have a problem with you, but they're fighting against you because somebody else wants you fighting, you get in their head. And I love the way he did it.
Yeah, he got in his head, and back to WrestleMania 31, real quick. Also, I think what didn't add a mystique to that match, and it's nothing that WWE could have did. It was that the Bray Wyatt and Undertaker both came out in daylight. I mean, everybody wanted to see the entrance at WrestleMania. It wasn't dark yet, and I think That added a lot to why the match
Mm.
went where it was at, and of course Bray Wyatt's injury. But go back to Shane McMahon, they're selling this thing. They're selling this thing to be. Plus, this match is going to be memorable because there's something on the line. Shane McMahon, control of the WWE, control of Monday Night Raw. There's
Mhm.
something on the line. So whether he win or lose, it's going to have an impact after WrestleMania. That's the biggest thing. It's going to be an impact affecting WWE after WrestleMania, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Whether Shane McMahon wins and take control, or Shane McMahon loses and be out of the wheel and goes bye bye, it's going to have an impact after WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to this, and like I said, we'll be there. Me and the Wizard will be there. Come find us in the stadium, AT&T Stadium. Find us at Wrestle. Find us at NXT. Find us at Jim Ross's show. Find us at anything that WWE is going on that weekend. Fox Sports 1340 AM. We definitely be there, and we want to hear from you, the wrestling fans. We want to hear your tweets. We want to talk to you, and we want to see how you feel leading up to WrestleMania.
I think that's what I'm most excited about to see y'all reaction and hear all the stories. Because every time y'all go to WrestleMania, it's always a story. Um, but I'm getting more invested, to be honest with you. Like I said before, I wasn't that much invested into this year's WrestleMania. Just more so excited that my brothers were going, but wasn't really invested. But now, I think seeing Shane and Undertaker go face to face last week, I really enjoyed that. And dare say, where did you say keep Roman Reigns off TV? You said it right here, right after. Right after it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that it was going to be Roman Reigns and Triple H. And I want to go right there. Uh, Triple H took a beating this past Monday night. He took a beating, and it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out.
It is, and me and the Wizard talked about this on the Wrestling Marks of Excellence the other day. We was talking about, you know, this. It was good to bring Roman Reigns back. At the time, the fans didn't react to it the way that WWE probably wanted it to. They got some cheers and boos, but to bring him back now, going into the next two cities they have to go into, you may have a different reaction for Roman Reigns. This upcoming Monday night, they're in Philadelphia. We know how the Philadelphia fans will be. The Wizard himself, nephew Corey, would definitely be in the house for that. Um, and so then the following week they go to Brooklyn, the Barclays Center. So you'll see Roman Reigns in two major hardcore cities, and how the fan react is going to affect him at WrestleMania or affect the storyline, I believe. And some people may disagree with me, but it may change. You can't have Triple H, who's the heel, getting cheered at your WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, who is your face now. Anything can play out. We can see a turn by Roman. We can see a double turn. It could be several things that go on. But this week, Philadelphia Monday night. If I'm WWE, Roman Reigns. If I'm the authority, not that I'm a book or anything else, I would ban Roman Reigns from the building and would not let him be on the show just for the fans wouldn't hear the boos and all that. I would play a lot of clips or show him outside the arena, show him doing the vignette, show him somewhere, but I would not allow him into the Philadelphia into the arena in Philly, knowing that he may get booed out of the arena, getting ready to go into WrestleMania. So I would do something where they ban him from the building or whatever case may be, and let everybody say his piece. But go back to Monday night. It was a great showing by Roman. Show some aggressiveness. Show beating up Triple H. We got blood. We got Triple H running. We got Roman Reigns putting a TV over his back. Triple H having to get glass taken out of his back. It made Roman Reigns look strong. I don't know anybody else noticed. The Wizard said it again. Uh, that he came, and fans may not know, he didn't come down from the stands. He
Hmm.
came out through the ramp. And that may be something that WWE is doing to get Roman Reigns a little bit more over, or maybe for safety precautions that they don't want him in the harm's way anymore with all the things WWE has been having in recent months with fans attacking wrestlers.
I think it's time. I thought it was cool that he did it before, but I think it's time now. Just let him come out. You saw Edge and Christian eventually evolve, but they also did that as a part of their transition into becoming full-fledged heels. When they because they got cocky once they got the belts. I know Roman is that way, but I think it's something about the way he came out Monday. Like he knew he was coming for a fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He came out looking for a fight, and that's think about it. That's what made fans love Roman Reigns. not his mic skills, not him talking, doing all the other stuff, but when Roman Reigns was just beating people up, showing that he was a brute force, showing that he was a Samoan, doing what he did best, which is beat people up. That's when fans loved him. If you go back to 2 years ago before the Royal Rumble, that's why people loved him because he was just going out there beating people up. He didn't have to. He wasn't exposed yet to the things that he's been exposed to now. And exposure, and people say, "Oh, yeah, he's exposed." No, exposure causes growth. All right, anything that's exposed to the sun grows. So he has to be able to be exposed to the wrestling fans. He has to develop his mic skills. He has to develop his wrestling ability, and he has grew. But sometimes you got to revert back to where you're at. And going into Triple H, this is going to be a fight. If we look at the card right now, the WrestleMania card that we know that is set, every match is going to be a straight up fight. I don't see any too many technical wrestling matches on this card. You have Dean Ambrose taking on Brock Lesnar, going to be a fight. You have Roman Reigns taking on Triple H, which is going to be a fight. You have Shane McMahon taking on the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell, which is going to be a fight. Not too many technical matches. Both guys are going to look well in this, and WWE is setting up a good WrestleMania. Over 85,000 tickets sold already. I mean, let's be honest. It's doing what WWE wants it to do. And right now, they can put Barry Horowitz and Brooklyn Brawler on a card, and they still make money.
Oh, come on now. I think you're pushing it right there.
Hey,
Well,
tickets are sold. You can do whatever you want right now. Tickets
yeah,
are
but
sold.
you know, I
Like,
I still think they'll sell some more though. I think. All right, I'll say this: WWE is doing a great job for what they have because people have to remember their backs was against the wall with this one. When you look at all the injuries that they had, um, that's unheard of. Like, imagine the NBA having their say going into the playoffs, 16 teams, right? And eight of those teams have their number one score out, and another eight have their number two score out. That's what the WWE has essentially right now. They have a lot of their top mid carders as well as their top main eventers hurt. So I think they're doing a great job with this. This is why I'm a fan of Triple H being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion because he can show these guys, hey, this is how we're going to get this money. Shout out to the Maryland Terps who just won. Follow at 1348 on Fox Sports for all updates and scores for March Madness. But this is why I'm a fan of Triple H being the champion. You saw the match with Dolph Ziggler. On a typical Monday night, I'm not watching a Dolph Ziggler match. Let's just call it what it is, Glenn. I've seen enough. You know, this is me personally speaking. Not everybody else, just me personally speaking. Wrestling ain't what it used to be. I understand that. So a lot of times when I watch wrestling, I'm watching with the fast forward button or I'm editing a video for Fox Sports 1340. But when I saw Dolph was going to take on Triple H, okay, now you got my attention. Because right now, any match Triple H is in, I'm going to watch because I'm not going to get that 2-3 weeks down the line. Because more than likely, if Triple H shall lose the title, that's it. We might see him get a rematch, but that's it. He's not going to be back out there. You know what I mean?
yeah, but also that, or the Dolph Ziggler, you want to, it gives credit to Dolph Ziggler for Triple H wanting to wrestle him, because it shows that he's how good of a worker he is, and also puts Triple H back in the ring shape for WrestleMania. Let's be honest, he has been
That's
out
what I was happy to
for a
see.
while. He's been out of the ring for a while, and he's getting himself back in the ring shape for WrestleMania. And why not go into the ring with two other better workers in the in 4 days, in 3 days? He was Dean Ambrose on Roadblock, which was that Saturday night, which was a house show, a live event show, excuse me. And then with him going against Dolph Ziggler on that Monday night, two of the better workers in the company, you saw Triple H put his body on the line and put in work with these two guys, which showing that he's getting in shape. He's taking his match with Roman Reigns seriously, but he's also showing the younger guys that I'm not like anybody else. I may be
Hmm.
the CFO legitimately of the company, COO, whatever case may be, legitimately with the company, but I'm also a worker. I'm also one of the boys. I was one of the boys first. So I'm willing to get in the ring with one of the boys. And if I can help you get better, if I can teach you, I can train you, if I can give you some more psychology, I'm getting in there doing it. You know how it is. We all work jobs 9 to 5, but you appreciate it more when your boss works with you than against you. So he worked with Dolph Ziggler to help him get him over, which Dolph Ziggler is looking more and more like Shawn Michaels each and every day.
All
Which
right, so everybody at Fox 1340, y'all be ready because Glenn is going to jump on y'all shows with y'all to help y'all get over
Yo, I'll help anybody get over any day of the week. I've been on the Flex Zone. I've been on Mike Knox's show. I've been on the Dale Harris show. The only one I have not been on is Mr. Ricardo's, but we'll work that out as
We
well.
haven't even been on a post show. I mean, you did your own,
I
but
did
you know,
on,
we haven't done a
yeah,
post show. You, me, and Kelsey, and
I,
Ashley.
I get on a post show, y'all. When I'm there, I don't mind. I'm like that Vince McMahon in the early '80s. I'll stay behind the announcer's desk, and people don't know, till I have a Bret Hart moment.
Oh,
You
then
know,
we got to call Mr. Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
But nah, that's the way it is though. It's WrestleMania season. Dolph Ziggler was over. It's good the way things are shaping up. You got Kevin Owens right now.
Hmm.
He's going Intercontinental Champion. And I like the Kevin Owens Intercontinental Champion. Have being an IC champ is good for him. We'll see Kevin Owens at WrestleMania with him and Sami Zayn, if I'm not mistaken, for the IC title. I think this match may be uh, if it's anything like the other 100 matches they had on the indie circuit, this match right here is going to be the one that I would think will steal the show. But we'll see as time comes on.
Let me ask you this. Saw this floating around, so I got to bring it up because that's what we do. We talk wrestling. Rumors say that there's talks in making Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar close the show to prevent 80,000 plus people booing if Roman Reigns wins the title.
Um, Title matches don't have to be the main event of the show.
Hmm.
Me and Wizard talked about this one time. The thing of WrestleMania is you want to send the fans home happy. How would you send the fans home happy here in this match? Brock Lesnar wins. That's cool. Last year, fans went home happy because we saw a cash in.
Hmm.
We saw a cash in, and fans went home having something to talk about with Seth Rollins cashing in. Some people were happy, some people was upset, but we said it was something to talk about with this match right here. One, if this is the main event, is because Brock Lesnar's in it. Two, I don't see it the world with Triple H being who he is, and he wants the main event WrestleMania. Everybody wants the main event. I think Roman Reigns and Triple H is the main event. I'm not trying to get my pick early, but I don't think Roman Reigns. People are guaranteeing that Roman Reigns is going to win at WrestleMania. He may not have that WrestleMania moment. Let's be honest, we're fans. I'm not a booker. I don't pretend to be one. I've never worked for the WWE. I've been watching wrestling for like 35 years, but um, Roman Reigns may not win, and there's a possibility of that. He could win, but there's a possibility he may not win.
Yep.
So he may not win at WrestleMania, and the fans still go home happy because it's not Roman Reigns. Let's be honest. People should be tired of this Roman Reigns booing because let's be honest, he's already been two-time WWE champion. All right, for him to
Hmm.
have his WrestleMania moment, which is good, but he may get his WrestleMania Monday night moment because he may win the next night. Same crowd, still gonna get a boo. Maybe, maybe not. But that stadium is large. Sound may be drowned out. You may actually have more cheers than boos because you have international fans. The hardcore fan may not be the fan that drowns out the AT&T Stadium arena. You may have more casual fans at AT&T Stadium than you do hardcore fans who may not boo Roman Reigns but actually cheer him. So back to your question, um, I wouldn't make Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar main event. I would do Roman Reigns and Triple H just because of the world title, or I would do Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. But Dean Ambrose, if really on the card, Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar's third main event. If you really look at it,
I was going to say the same exact thing. That if I wasn't going to go with if I wasn't going to go with Roman Triple H, it would have to be Shane and Undertaker. I mean, Monday Night Raw is on the line. That's a win-win situation because when Undertaker still has well, his the best of what is it 24 out of 25 WrestleManias or 23 out of 24 WrestleManias, whatever it is, he
mm-hmm.
still has that. Then but if he loses, he just lost and Shane McMahon is running Monday Night Raw, so I think that's a win-win
And he just
situation.
lost, and you close the show not knowing what's going to happen on the biggest Monday Night Raw there is, and
Hmm.
buzz and something to talk about the next night. You know what I'm saying? And it's much better than Dean Ambrose just beat Brock Lesnar, or Brock Lesnar just beat Dean Ambrose. So whoever's saying that, whoever's starting that rumor, should be shot. That's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
That's not that's Dean Ambrose. There's no way in the world that Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. I mean Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar close the show. Sorry, not gonna happen. Not with Triple H being a world champion, and not with Shane McMahon being and Vince McMahon being involved in the match. I don't see Vince coming out in the middle of the show. You know what I'm saying? Or third to last match. And no, the last two matches it either be Roman Reigns versus Triple H, or it will be Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. Most likely, it will be Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. I mean Triple H.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be interesting, no doubt about it. Like you said, you guys are gonna be there. So ladies and gentlemen, there won't be a live wrestling summit, but I will be catching up with the Flex Zone, and we'll be giving you a post show, which you'll probably catch the next night. But nonetheless, that's gonna be certainly interesting, and I'm truly looking forward to it to see how does this play out. That's always the case whenever these things happen. How does this play out? You
Yeah,
know, go ahead.
no, I mean that you want to see how it plays out, and I mean, if and you want to know what goes on, and you want to feel the buzz of the crowd, and you want to hear the reaction from people, you want to talk to people, so you want to see what's going on, and this thing is very interesting. That's the part of being a fan. Like I mentioned
Hmm.
March Madness earlier, and all the upsets. You want to see how March. Why March Madness is so great because you want to see what happens, and no one try to be the booker in March Madness. You know, and we all mess up, we fail. Because how many people have Michigan State? I mean, four people in Vegas bet on Middle Tennessee State and Middle Tennessee. So it's just
Hmm.
like that with WrestleMania. So you enjoy it. You fill out your matches, who you think will win, who's going to lose, but you sit back and enjoy the 4 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, speaking of 4 hours of wrestling, I got my eye on this card, and my attention just drew to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Uh, who wins it this year?
If
All
I,
of it,
if you could go Bray Wyatt, why not?
that's true.
He has nothing else going on. Give it to Bray Wyatt. I don't know who else may be returning. If we get somebody who returns, a Cesaro maybe be a two-time winner. Big Show could be a two-time winner again. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you could do that. Um, so you have those things, but right now I'm leaning towards Bray Wyatt if he's in the Battle Royal to be the Andre the Giant Memorial Cup winner.
Yeah. Now, also the women's match. I love talking about the women's division in the WWE, and I'm still. I don't think we. I pretty much accept the fact the only way I'm gonna see Naomi on the card is two ways: if she interferes in that match, or she comes out during if she accompanies the Usos again, like she did last year. But Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, man, Corey's been gone on record, and he keeps saying he feels Charlotte's walking away with the title.
It could be. I mean, this could be Charlotte's WrestleMania moment to retain the title. Would it hurt Sasha Banks? No. Would it hurt Becky? No. Um, or I don't see Becky winning. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I can see Becky winning, and that'd be the swerve that nobody wants to see. Nobody sees.
Hmm.
She could win because they might just be high on Becky, and they know Sasha's going to get it sooner or later anyway. But I think it's gonna be a great match, and I'm leaning right now. That's the match I'm on the fence on. I don't know which one of these three women, and three women and great performers, is gonna actually win this match, and that's one of the intriguing things about this Divas match or this women's match because I don't want to keep using the word Divas because these ladies wrestle, so they're women wrestlers to me.
Hmm.
Um, this match is very intriguing. I can see Charlotte. I can see Ric Flair getting involved, but I can see them throwing Ric Flair to the back to the ring, putting him back in the back. Um, so right now, I won't give my prediction. I'll give my prediction next week on this match. I'm on the fence on this one. I really am. I want to see how it plays out this week on Monday Night Raw, how it plays out this week on SmackDown, and next week, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have here my prediction on the triple threat match. I'm leaning two ways though. I'm leaning two ways, and I know some of you out there say, "Oh, you always say bet on black." Uh, I think I might have to go that way, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
I know. I'm pushing. I'm hoping. I want Sasha to win it. I just think it'll be great. I wish it was 1-on-1, man. No disrespect to Becky. none at all. But I just wish it was 1-on-1. I treat the women's title like a world title, like it should be treated because it is their world title. I don't want to see one on. I only want to see 1-on-1 world title matches. I only want to see 1-on-1 divas title matches or women's title matches, whatever you want to call it, at WrestleMania. I understand Becky's role. I understand she's worked hard, but guess what? A lot of women have too.
Yeah, but Naomi's day. We talking about Naomi. Um,
I mean, you talk about Naomi, you talk about Paige, talk about
but
Natalia.
there's a lot of women that's played, and we may see them in the battle royal. I don't know. But I think we'll see two divas matches on the card, though. I think there's no way in the world they leave the rest of those girls off the card.
Well,
They
see, and you know what? There's you seen what's brewing between Brie Bella and Summer Rae, or is no Lana. I'm sorry, Lana, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I could see them going that route, but I could see that becoming because to keep Lana protected, you throw in a couple other faces so that you don't have to put the responsibility in her wrestling a full match.
Yeah, you make them take sides and form teams. She form our own little League of Nations, our own little group, and we have a multifaceted match with divas. So I can see that going down that route. We got AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, which will be another excellent match. I know people
Hmm.
say, "Oh, we've seen that match already. We don't want to see." Look, these two guys are top performers. They're good workers. You can put AJ in there with anybody right now, and he's gonna make that person look good, and Chris Jericho as well. So that's gonna be a good match. I think the card is pretty good. I think what you missing and you missing. People say, well, you're missing a Cena. This is how it will be. Cena wasn't never here. Missing a Seth Rollins. You missing a Randy Orton. And if so, they can still do this without missing a Seth Rollins, a Randy Orton, John Cena, maybe a Batista, all those type guys, and people who are mega stars, and they
Hmm.
still selling 85,000 tickets. People are still talking about it. There's still a little buzz in the air. WWE's future is bright. They got to continue to move in that realm. And when those guys come back, a Seth Rollins, when a John Cena comes back, when a Randy Orton comes back, you put the pieces in accordingly, and your business and your company is that much greater.
Well, see, this is the reason why Triple H has been in this role because he's been kept fresh for the longest time, so that if the John Cena's and the Randy Ortons get hurt pretty much at the same time, he could step in, and he's doing a great job at it. When I turn on Monday Night Raw, that's who I want to see. And I know I understand this isn't 1999 or even 2005, but yeah, when I turn on Monday Night Raw, I want to see where's Triple H gonna come out there, what he's gonna say, how he's gonna carry the belt from everything, you know. So I'm interested in that. But another match I was looking at, shoot, the this Kalisto Ryback, man.
Uh,
Uh, go ahead.
U.S. title match. My thing is give it to Ryback. Let Ryback get it. I believe Kalisto will win. Because of that giant, the little guy over the giant again. So Kalisto will probably walk out of U.S. champ. If there was a match I was gonna put on the pre-show, that'd be it right there. That match
Mhm.
deserves to be on the pre-show. Not taking anything away from Kalisto or Ryback, but many people are not gonna see that match or want to see that match on the main roster, on the main
Mhm.
show. The Battle Royal has some validity because it's Andre Memorial Cup, so you put that on the main card. You definitely gonna put the New Day, who is the tag team champions, on the main card,
Have
on
to.
the main
Yeah, they've
show.
been having.
Yeah, they be having, so they're not gonna be on a pre-show, which would be the first year in many years that the tag team title will not be on a pre-show. So you see the progression of matches. The women's match is not gonna be on the pre-show. You see what I'm saying? So the match
Hmm.
that we have now, you're not gonna put AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. You're not gonna put the IC title. You're gonna put either Kalisto or the Battle Royal. Where I'm leaning more towards Kalisto and Ryback being on the pre-show, other than any other match that's on the card, just because it's the U.S. title, and Kalisto has it.
Yeah. Now, let's
And
talk
go
a little bit. Oh, go
and
ahead.
go. I don't know if we call him Ryback or Go Back or Goldberg.
I like go back.
Go, no, we call him Go Back.
Yeah, I like go back. But I saw this today. And I don't know when it happened. It might have. So Bobby Roode and Eric Young have asked for their release. and was granted their release from TNA.
Look, Bobby Roode is a good hand, good worker. I've always said James Storm. I don't know why he re-signed with TNA. Should have stayed in NXT. It's not a bad gig, not a bad thing. Dates, collect your money. TNA doing well on Pop TV. Nothing against TNA. I'm nothing against Bobby Roode. Good worker. All right, great work. But if WWE can take Austin Aries, whatever he's getting, and they can take Bobby Roode. Eric Young. I don't think he's a WWE guy. I think Eric Young is more of what he's getting, what he's doing. Planet TV, more movie deals, more TV shows, more reality TV. Make his money that way,
Hmm.
which he has. Then the ask for the release is nothing different. TNA stars last year, like every month, everybody was asking for the release. They see something within the company that they don't like. They've been there for a long time. Rude been there almost since day one. Same thing with Eric Young. I've been almost there since day one in the company for the last at least 12, 13 years with TNA. And it's time to move on. Let them try to do something else, take their shot at a WWE. Bobby Roode has a strong shot to get in the WWE. I don't know if they're looking at him or they're interested or not, but Bobby Roode in the WWE would be a good thing.
I know I've gone on record and said that I would never have another favorite wrestler again. I would just like the product and like individuals in their storyline setting. Bobby Roode in WWE would make me just think about it. He's somebody that I've been waiting for him to come to the WWE for over 5 years now. The night when he stood and went toe to toe with Hulk Hogan on the microphone, and he said something to the extent of, "You will never." They say you shouldn't meet your heroes because when you meet them, they'll disappoint you. Just seeing that whole interaction made me a fan. The way his approach to the ring, the way his look, his move set. I've been a huge Bobby Roode fan. One of my dream matches is Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. And
Yeah.
for that, I am hoping he comes to the WWE. I feel like a match, even him versus Triple H, imagine that match.
And
But
not in that match, if you get James Storm who can some way slide over, now you got a tag team match. And now you got Beer Money being in the main roster. You're talking about to spark your tag team division up or to take it to another level.
mhm.
That would do so.
I,
You
I understand why people like beer money, but Brian H. Waters personally was just like take it or leave them. I like seeing them go against each other. I think the way people felt about when the Dudleys broke up was going against each other, they didn't like it, was the way opposite. Because I actually like when Beer Money went against each other and battled for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that. And those two guys stuck together. James Storm, their body should be good. Bobby Roode's body should be good. Should be taken care of. You see that he keeps himself in good shape. Going to WWE, and I believe Bobby Roode would do well at NXT. Yes, I said NXT. Put Bobby Roode in NXT first. Um,
Yes, I agree.
not a bad thing. Get acclimated because they're good wrestlers down at NXT. You have Samoa Joe, you have Finn Balor, Hideo Itami when he comes back, Sami Zayn currently, back and forth. So you have good workers down at NXT, and you build that brand up. Because look, for all you wrestling fans, NXT is not a developmental thing. It's a third brand of the WWE right now. It is another brand of the WWE. Uh, it has great facilities. Yes, they travel down in Florida, but it is a brand of the WWE. So let them go down there and get acclimated. And then what you could see maybe the main roster because the roster is so depleted right now. But
Hmm.
it depends on when the return of those wrestlers. But a Bobby Roode NXT if he goes to WWE, good fit.
Just to let you know, Glenn, as I'm tweeting from the Wrestler Summit, and I'm tagging Corey on this, Roman Reigns right now live in a house show is coming out of coming down the ramp.
Yeah, I think the fan thing is over with. He will come down the ramp. It just it is needed. Safety reason is needed. The change maybe as you said something earlier, he may be being a heel. He can't be a heel coming through the fans. You know, Diamond to
Mhm.
go back for all you wrestling historians out there. Diamond Dallas Page came down to the fans. He was the biggest one of the biggest baby faces in WCW. When Edge
But people's champion.
Yep. when Edge and Christian did it, you alluded to earlier, I believe they was one of the biggest faces in WWE right at the time.
Yeah, because they got that pop because they were the only tag team in that match at WrestleMania 16, which the world likes to call WrestleMania 2000, that hadn't won the titles yet. And when they won the titles, it was huge.
Yep. And so we may be seeing an evolution of Roman Reigns in his heel turn.
Oh man, how good would that be?
I'm just saying, I'm like I said, I'm not booking anything. We just may be seeing the evolution of Roman Reigns.
Well, man, how about um, what are you looking forward most to for Raw tomorrow night?
Just how see how the storylines play out. See, I mean, I call the last two shows of WrestleMania go home shows. I know
Hmm.
I was looking at the show before, but I think this is really the go home. One of these, the Philadelphia and New York, will go. Both of these shows will be go home shows to establish the rest of the matches, to establish the feuds, to establish the mindset of the crowd before they go into the finishing up the rest of the live event shows they have to do. The one in Richmond, the one in DC, then go on to New York the following night, where they fight, where they wrestle. Uh, in the Barclays Center, and then go on to WrestleMania weekend in Dallas, Texas. So you really look at it. We only have three more televised shows, four more
Hmm.
televised shows to get these storylines in shape, and we'll see a lot of things out. What I'm really interested in too would be to see how the storylines. But the next thing is who is the next inductee into the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Jacqueline Moore who finally got in. I don't have to sell my ticket or boycott WrestleMania this year because Jacqueline Moore finally got it in. And y'all can hear it here first. And I said it. I've been saying it for years. She is the first African American woman ever to be in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So you can tweet that out. You got it. You heard it from me. There's no other African American woman in any other Hall of Fame. Jacqueline Moore is the first and will be the first in the WWE Hall of Fame, the first in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in Amsterdam. There's no other one in the, if I can recall, there's no other one in the Cauliflower Alley Club Hall of Fame, but Jacqueline Moore will be the first African American female inducted into any pro wrestling Hall of Fame. That's what I'm looking forward to really uh, this weekend to see who the next inductee is to the Hall of Fame, and to continue to shout out Jacqueline Moore for getting into the Hall of Fame. She was the first woman to be inducted in the P. She was the first woman to be presented in the PWI. You know what I'm saying? Ranked in the top 500. She was in the PWI, so she's done a lot of things and a lot of trendsetters, and she should have been in. But why not do it in Dallas? I'm looking forward to her speech. I'm looking forward to a lot of people's speeches, and I know that does not have nothing to do with Monday Night Raw, but I just wanted to talk about Jacqueline Moore, who I love dearly.
Well, I'm happy. So since I know you, this is the second time you didn't have to boycott the Hall of Fame because the
Yeah,
last one was Miami, and you said if Ron Simmons didn't get in his home state of Florida, you wasn't going.
I wasn't going. Ron Simmons needed to get in. The WWE was smart. Ron Simmons, first African American champion, put him in the Hall of Fame in his home state of Florida. It's very simple. It's elementary. It's very smart. Put him in. So that's one of the things that needs to be done. There's some stars that need to go in.
Hmm.
There's some things. And my question to some of the wrestling fans out there, and we may can do a poll is: since Macho Man's gotten in, since the Freeburgs have gotten in, who is that next person that wrestling fans say has to go into the Hall of Fame? Who's that next person that wrestling fans are dying to see in the Hall of Fame?
Wow. So who you think of? Like
I don't
you have.
know. I want to say Owen Hart, but that's not up to WWE. That's up to his wife right now. If she's gonna accept it, I mean, WWE can do it, but will anybody show up for him? You know what I'm saying? We do it out of the grace of the Hart family. I think Owen Hart it has to be up on that list to be. We need to put Owen Hart into the Hall of Fame now. I think he's on that list. It's hard to think about anybody else. I think if you go to tag teams, you got to talk about Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express. Why they're not in, you know?
Mhm.
And I know people say they're never in the WWE, but God dog, Abdullah the Butcher never really been in the WWE neither.
Yeah.
But he's in the Hall of Fame. The Sheik, he was in the WWE for a minute, but there are people who really didn't focus on WWE careers who are in the WWE Hall of Fame based off the legacy and what they've done.
Yeah, man. Well, whew, uh, I'm happy that Jackie's definitely going in. She deserves it. for what she did, and not just the Attitude Era, because I know a lot of people think about Jackie and they think about, her epic battles with Sable through 1998, but she was so much more than that. I mean, my first time seeing her was she was wasn't she in WCW first?
She's in WCW. She was
That's
in
what,
USWA
yeah,
with
and
Jerry.
you know what? It might have actually been USWA that I saw like her briefly, and then WCW, and I saw her body slam a man. And I
Yeah,
said, yeah, she ain't nobody to be messed with. And then I saw her in WWE, but like I said, she's not she's a lot more than TNA, no pun intended, or PMS when she was with Pretty Mean Sisters. Jackie did a lot, and rightfully so. She was a WWE Women's Champion, and she held the title proudly.
yeah. And she shut the. And then she was the. If I'm not mistaken, the Wizard may correct me, or you fans may correct me. When they brought the women's title back, she was the first person to hold it.
Yeah, because she won it on the night on Raw. I was very mad because I wanted Sable to win. Huge Sable fan, obviously. Uh, but Jackie won it, and then Sable took the title from her a couple months later at Survivor Series with Shane McMahon as the referee.
Yep. So
They did the Rick Rude finish, Rick Rude Ultimate Warrior finish with Bobby Heenan holding the ropes, holding the legs. That's what Mark Merrill did. He held down Sable's legs.
yep.
But yeah, Monday night. I'm like I said before. I'm looking forward to seeing what Triple H does. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing the Undertaker. Because I'm not sure if he's due to be on there, but if he is, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see. I mean, Shane and Vince. That's what I really want to see. Um, I think I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have gave us that match, but I mean, quite frankly, Vince don't need to be wrestling no more. We've already seen that match over 10 years ago, so we don't need to see it again. Um, yeah,
Now you don't need to see that again.
it was entertaining then. It shout out, that was the last WrestleMania I watched with my grandmother, and I vividly remember my grandmother telling my mother when my mother came and picked me up that day. Uh, she said, let me tell you, old McMahon's son kicked his tail today, and I see Corey's trying to get in. Before we get off, let me see if I can invite him in. Uh, Hopefully that invite will go through. So a lot of say this on Twitter, where you can find us at wrestle_summit. A lot of people like what you had to say about Jackie, man. A lot of people like that. Bottom line is she definitely deserves it.
Yeah, she does. She definitely deserves it. It's good for her, and it's good for the wrestling business. People don't realize she kept that locker room together during the transition from women wrestling to divas. She had to
Hmm.
transform herself. What's up, genius?
Yeah, that would be me. Hello.
What's up, my brother?
What's going on? I'm driving, so I'm going to go off the screen here.
No
But
problem.
you can still hear me. Sorry.
Yeah, loud
Yeah.
and clear. Thankfully,
Sorry about that.
all
Um,
good.
like I said, I was trying to make sure I could get on, but of course, my brothers are on. So what's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. I quoted you a lot today. I used a
I
lot.
bet you did. Stop stealing my stuff. I'm
I gave
joking.
you much. I gave you wasn't no plagiarism involved. Every time I said the wizard said. The wizard said. So I give you much credit. But
uh, so what is the topic at hand, gentlemen?
we're
Just
just
getting
giving
ready for
talk.
Mania.
We get made and
Oh,
talking about Jackie in the Hall of Fame, how great it was, and how she really kept the locker room together from the transition from women wrestling to divas. How
you
she
know,
important.
what's interesting about that too, Gila, that you say that she was so unheraldedly lost in the shuffle of what the Divas were becoming after the fact that she still doesn't get enough credit. My goodness, let it be known she is the first women's champion of the reincarnation of the belt too.
Yep, she brought that belt. She introduced that black and the black belt, black and gold one.
Yeah, hmm yeah, and it was a perfect champion too. She was such a great foil for Sable at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It really and not even then. A lot of people her WCW stuff, and for that brief period she was there was really good as well. Especially with her in the Dungeon of Doom. her role in Benoit and Sullivan's match and Sullivan's retirement
Right.
match at Bash at the Beach '97. Yeah,
Right.
that she was an integral part to the Divas division, women's Divas, whatever. It didn't matter. She is very well deserved of her accolade that she has achieved. So bravo for putting her in.
Yeah, and I was telling the fans that I don't have to boycott a Hall of Fame because this one needed to happen.
So let me ask you guys this, because I know y'all have been talking WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask this: do you think Roman and H goes on last?
Oh man, we hit that one. We hit that one. And my opinion on that one was it should go on last. It's not
Okay,
Brock and Dean Ambrose. I tell you that much.
it's not. It's
And,
not. The only
and
thing that could rival that, honestly, is probably Taker and Shane going on last. However, I'm traditionalist when it comes to WrestleMania. In my own personal opinion, I would love WrestleMania every year to end with the championship match, regardless of the build-up.
Hmm.
I still believe it's about the belt. Although I understand why some years it's not. I understand. However, I do believe the premise of being in the business, I'll remain kayfabe in that aspect that it always should be about the championship belt.
I
Uh,
totally agree. It should always be about the champion. And why build it up? Why be the champion? And if you can't main event WrestleMania, I
yeah,
understand the
I
Miz
agree.
didn't. If you're the champion, you as a champion, you get into WWE. It's like playing professional football, and you
Hmm.
start all these games, but you don't start the Super Bowl. You want to start the Super Bowl. You want to make it to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl. You want to play. You want to get to the Super Bowl and play in the game and be the main focus of the Super Bowl. So same thing with wrestling. You want to be the main focus of.
yeah, because I still believe Punk got a raw deal from bad timing, man. I mean, I still think that sucked that Cena came up pretty much because he didn't get to main event WrestleMania. I always felt bad for that aspect. He never really got to officially main event WrestleMania as the champion.
True, and he also never had his as I call it, never had his WrestleMania moment. You know.
Nope. But you know what though? You couldn't like. That's the only one where I say like you couldn't not go Cena Rock at the end of that night. And I think originally that might have actually, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that the hope was that John Cena was gonna go into WrestleMania 28 as champion when they made the match. It's just that CM Punk got so hot, you had to put the title on him.
Yeah, he got so hot, but you build a match up for a year, or you build a rematch up. You have to let Rock, the two biggest stars in the company, go last. Rock
Yeah,
and but I was always a proponent that year. You to go back to the wrestling rec box at excellent tapes. I was the one that always wanted Triple H. I wanted either Shawn Michaels and Undertaker go last, or Triple H and Undertaker go last,
it was
because
Triple
I
H
thought
Undertaker.
Triple H Undertaker go last because I've always felt that the Undertaker was bigger than WrestleMania.
What?
I thought the streak was bigger. The streak was bigger at that time. I thought the streak was bigger than Cena Rock.
What?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man. That's a
Put
well, we,
put
that's a
put, put a poll out there. Was the streak bigger than Cena Rock? I believe the streak was bigger than Cena Rock.
we'll put a poll out there going back to WrestleMania 28. What was bigger for
Yeah.
WrestleMania?
I believe the streak was big. The streak was the biggest thing. Rock Cena was good. People wanted to see it, but the streak was where it was at. And I believe that was the one Hell of a Cell, Shawn Michaels, referee Triple H, and Undertaker.
Hmm.
And with those three guys and what they did, close the house, closing the end to an era supposedly, was a good feat, good match. And I always thought the Undertaker in the streak was bigger than Cena and Rock.
We'll see, man. Fans, please get out there and vote. You know, I mean, we got less than a minute left. Get out there and vote now. So we can get this. Hear your opinions. Um, sorry, but now tomorrow night Raw. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna be right here next week. You're gonna get the full panel predictions. Who do we think will emerge as the victor at WrestleMania 32? I'm still calling it 32. Are you, Glenn?
Yes, 32. You know
Okay.
you don't put the numbers up there. It's 32. I learned my Roman numerals in school.
I learned my Roman numerals through WrestleMania. I'm younger than WrestleMania, so I learned my Roman numerals through it. So I always thought Roman numerals the greatest numbers outside of the the regular ones that we use. So,
Right.
but he's Glenn Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brian H. Waters. Obviously, we have a lot more to say, but that's where we will take it to the Twitter at Wrestle Summit and at Brian H. Waters, and I'll throw Glenn's lower third. Catch his right there. No, I'm not Glenn, but that's his Twitter. So you got to beef with him. You tweet him, and make sure you tag at Russell_Summit so we can all see it. But he will. So until next week, we are out.